let's introduce Esperanza. Oh, there's a delay on yours. If you could turn your volume down.
Can someone sponsor?
Okay, so yay! Great to be here in Santa Fe with Esperanza Romero and in her incredible studio.
Thanks, Ruth.
And we're gonna talk about Esperanza's process and influences and inspirations, and also see some work and how she you know, her process in how she accomplishes these amazing artworks.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Well, let me start with a very simple one, SB. Because we're around the same generation, as you can see by our tech savvy. How much did punk influence you back in the 70s, and how much does it influence you today, or didn't it at all? Were you already, because you've always broken rules, you've always made new ground, you're always changing direction. It's, even though the work has its own character and feel, that there's a kind of do-it-yourself punk philosophy behind it, a little bit, I sense, or am I wrong?
If that's what punk means, yes, it's very punk. I sign to that. I think punk has loads of connotations as well, because when it happened and what it happened, it has connotations for me, evidently. I was already working, I already started working, I was already at college. I think I was on my second year at Camberwell. It did, I think it was more than punk, it was the group of friends I was living with and the era that we were, you know, it was pretty much do it yourself. By the time I arrived in college, it was already 2 or 3 years squatting. The philosophy of squatting, way before punk, well, not way before, a year before punk. It was so, well, let's make this work, let's use this for that. It doesn't necessarily, you know, you put gloss paint for wood, I put it on my shoes, paint them red or whatever, you know, it's just like anything goes. Yeah. But that's the philosophy still today.
Yeah. Because I remember in the mid-70s that squat culture was as much sort of hippie as it was punk in a way. I mean, they're very close anyway, I think, but being in the center of it, were you aware of any of that, or were you just doing your thing?
Of course I was aware of it. Of course I was aware of it. I was a child of my times, I guess.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you know, there were certain trousers that you just wouldn't wear, and there were certain shoes that you wouldn't be seen dead on. It was that fashion was involved with it. And
did that give you the confidence just to tackle anything you wanted, and you felt no,
I was confident, therefore I wore whatever I liked.
Right.
So I would make baggy, stripy, turquoise and white trousers. A yellow cycling waistcoat. You know, you just wore, you know, you wore anything you want, basically. If you weren't, you know, part of the kind of leather. Black leather trousers.
It did become a uniform. It did become a uniform.
We didn't.
Very quickly,
no. I mean, my punkness wasn't at all related to the fashion in sex or whatever.
No.
Is it Sex, the name of the show?
Yeah, Seditionary Sex.
No. We didn't have money for that anyway. We have to make our own things.
Yeah.
But I did make myself a pair of leather trousers from a coat I bought secondhand.
Yeah. And did you think that affected your philosophy on how you approached art and maybe the more sort of conservative classical ends of art, like sculpture, which must have been a little conservative at the time?
Not really.
No?
Not in our school.
Who was
I don't think no, because the rest of my colleagues who were at college with me, my peers, they weren't involved in the punk scene as I was.
Yeah.
Well, I was closely related to it.
Yeah.
If not in the center of it, but you know, my sister being so active and everything.
Palmolive, yeah.
Palmolive is my sister who was the founder, one of the main founder member of the Slits.
And the Raincoats.
No, she came to the Raincoats after they already been going for a while with different drummers.
Oh yeah,
But,
Bleach.
they go in training ceramics. If you, I mean, I'm an artist, I'm a ceramicist, I'm anything really. I don't like labels so much.
Yeah.
But the going rate that the generation before me was like Bernard Leach, which is all brown and kind of a studio pottery, British studio pottery, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
But for me, it just didn't do anything.
No.
So, but me and my peers, not only just me, some of my peers as well were doing also developing a new language, even people who, generation immediately above us, there was Alison Britt and Carol Manicola, people who were doing really funky things. So that was who I looked to.
Right.
I mean, it's a very cliquey world, so nobody knows about who these people are, perhaps.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The people who were really breaking ground before.
Yeah. Did you?
I mean, as from mid 70s or early 70s, people at the Royal College in the ceramic department might not have done any ceramics before. They come from a different background.
Right.
And the person I worked with was Carol McNichol.
Was she your tutor?
She was the part-time tutor, but then I managed to get a job with her in the summer holidays. So she was my a great influence, because I saw the running day to day of a workshop and how to make money, how to keep it going. So that was great. She, for example, her college work was like 3 cups stuck together, and you pick them up, and there was only 1 cup, only the top cup work. You know, it was just like. Anyhow, that was a long time ago. In those days, I was like quite into making things that had a functional concept, but they didn't really, they weren't very useful. There was like a square cup. I would make a square cup, and you take it home and you try and drink out of it, and it would pour out of the corners. So you learn to drink out of a square cup from the corner. I got a couple of pieces here. So maybe the best way to talk about it is actually seeing some of the items.
Yes.
Okay,
well, I'll pick up the camera and let's walk around.
Okay. Okay, this is
Notes.
some of the early work. I just put a little table here, a little display table. This was a vase.
Oh wow, amazing.
This was probably made in 1977.
Wow.
So one side is a man and the other side is a woman.
I
was trained to I was originally going to do painting, and then ceramic just grabbed me.
Yeah.
The immediacy and the tactile and the practicality of it. And so a lot of my ceramic, not so much the samples that I brought here, at that stage had a lot of paintings on them. They had little drawings.
Yeah.
They were kind of illustrations.
Was this influenced by ancient Greece or anything like that?
I think more Japanese.
Japanese, yeah.
They're very kind of Japanese drawings. They're kind of very, a little bit cartoon-like. This is a very Japanese fabric item. Then I would make like, this is a jar, but it's a useless jar, because who's going to use this jar? But you can use it, basically you can use it.
Yes, beautiful.
So there's a concept, departure from the concept of the item.
Yeah.
Should I do something else with it? This is a vase, and I like the idea of it looking as if it was floating up.
Yeah.
Away from the ground. All this work, most of this work, not this one is Camberwell, full of dust, by the way.
Yeah.
From the other studio. At Carl's, I learned the use.
Studio.
I use the molds to make pieces. That's what Carl used to make. So, so you can make. I learned to make a mold out of things that look impossible to come out of a mold. But I would make a section, and then at that later make a mold for this and a mold for that, and then join them.
Right.
Because that's the thing with clay, that it's really versatile.
What about the Japanese influence? Because, you know, famously Van Gogh, Picasso, lots of artists in the last 100 years were really influenced by the Japanese prints, weren't they? How did that influence you?
You know, I find it really difficult to talk about my work. This is and influences. I like the drawing. I like many things. I like
colors.
a cartoon that I see somewhere else. Some graphic in a Marmite bottle. You know. I think influences come from anywhere. I wasn't very studying my art history at the time. I did a little bit of art history, but I wasn't kind of focusing on that and on the theories of art. I was more too busy making.
Yeah.
So I have a huge turn up of work.
Yeah.
So it was more hands on the job, and that the jobs kind of teach you to learn. Once you do it and once you have an interest, then you develop the technique for it. So you then look to see where that comes from. Are
you still interested in other people's work? Are you still influenced by other people's work as well as everyday objects?
I'm very interested.
Yeah.
And I think we're all influences. We all have influences of everybody. So I think to say that you're original is bullshit. You know, we're sponges. We're feeding from everything.
Yeah.
You know, you see something you like, then in that sort of records in your memory, and it maybe it's not conscious, but it comes through eventually. So I had made a little list of what I was going to. Okay,
go on. You lead us through. Where do you want to start?
Basically, well, just to say that I have been putting my hands into different activities, not just ceramics. Although ceramics is like
they're paintings.
It's like a poor child. You know, you have to give a lot of time and attention to ceramics. So this is because basically it's a pain in the arse because things go wrong and it's so much technical abilities. But originally I was going to do painting. I put up, I have that painting up, which I like, which are related to the volumes, the head volumes that I was making at one point. So for me, the painting for me is three-dimensional. It's not like two-dimensional. And this one is, I sort of look for textures. I put a piece of poster that I find in the street, and the scarlatana for the print, from the printing. And then a lot of the time, I think you got it.
There's some detail.
Yeah,
I love the poster. That's great. And it's all acrylic,
This is acrylic and charcoal.
And the muslin, that's really nice. That's a lovely texture, Is that, you're just mashing up the styles and things?
Well, I guess this is just quite sort of relatively recent. It's sort of, these are in the last 5 years or something. Things go backwards and forward. There is that woman behind there. That is 20 years old. It's, I look for textures in the painting, so I sort of pound it with a can of grit. and you put glue on it, and then that gives you like a background. So you're not starting from zero. You got something that is feeding you back. I usually dirty the canvas. I make the canvas a color, or
Yeah.
so they used to be more colorful, and then they became very sober. I was very much into white.
Yes. The color composition is sort of muted here. Why is that then?
That it was a period. It was a period. I was like, I'm needing to have a bit more color now, but
yeah.
And also, like, because in the exhibitions, this is awful to say, but if you have too much color, it's just like doesn't look good. So
that's right. Because you came over to my house the other day, and you're looking at some of my painting, going, maybe you should tone the colors down. And I was like, yeah, you're right.
Making secondary colors.
Yes. Yes.
So instead of like,
yes.
But some of them, the pure color is also good.
Yeah. That's a nice contrast there, isn't it?
They're like big drawings.
Oh, I love those. Yeah. So again, I can see they remind me of Clemente in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, I love Clemente.
Yeah.
London.
Yeah.
So you will show.
Yeah. And
so this is in the painting section.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the day-to-day, to make ends meet, I discovered etching as a way of making work accessible to everybody, because I don't like the idea of it being kind of an elite, only the elite that can buy the original. So a friend told me that I had some old etching from college, and she said, "You got a field here." So
Spencer's feeding back.
So anyhow,
sounds like Jimi Hendrix. But I mean, Picasso felt like that about his ceramics as well, with being able to mass produce them and make them accessible at a cheaper price, so everybody could own a Picasso. I love that.
I brought very few samples. This is a small lino cut.
Yeah. Do you find you have different personalities come through when you do a different medium, from painting to etching, or is it always the same?
I think they overlap.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously it's like talking in a different language, switching to a different language. So you have the capacities of that language, what it allows you to do. But I think the ceramic comes through because a lot of them are very texture. Again, going back to the etching, that's one of my favorites all times, and that I have a painting which is similar to that as well. That's with two plates. The first plate gives you the background colors, which is the ochre and the red. Yeah.
This is an etching.
It's an etching. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the second plate has the figure of the lady.
Oh yeah.
And I put 3 colors. I put some on the lips, some on the hair, and some sepia brown on the body.
Yeah.
Those are very Picasso-esque. Unfortunately, to say so, but
apart from anything they're blue.
You can't help it. You can't go against what comes naturally. But
They're
so
really
there is a lot of that series. Most of the etchings.
Oh, look, there's a record here.
Yeah, that's my daughter's. I found it the other day. I really liked it.
Great, yeah.
And
that's Luna, who's also an artist.
She's also an artist.
Very accomplished,
She's a great artist.
Yeah.
She's concentrating on the paintings, on the paintings,
Oh, now what are you doing here? Now these.
No, those are also Lunas.
Oh, wow.
This is a series she did of dogs.
Oh, okay.
She printed some t-shirts with the dogs all around.
Oh, look, yeah.
And there's goats.
Cabron.
So anyhow, in the ceramic went from that very colorful, funky thing to a kind of more sober stuff, and amphoras and thing, kind of reminiscence of all things found in the sea. I don't have anything here of that period. And then went through a figurative phase. doing mainly big heads. I used to make big heads, like about, well, not big, it's about, I don't know, I need a high, you know, with shots. Oh yeah, there's a couple of them, they're not so big, but, and they usually have a little tail with them. They call my conscience or something, and you know, they have a figure next to them. This is the color of the clay. This hasn't got any, full of dust. It hasn't got any treatment. It's just burnished, it's polished. And after this figurative area, I sort of switched again. This was the figures that started coming out of the etchings into the ceramic. The first time I made figurative ceramics in about year 2000. And then I went playing with art for about 10 years with figures, and eventually they became kind of, as time went on, they became more and more sober, they became more idealized. I practice yoga, so some of them have yoga positions and can't be helped. So these are some of sort of figures.
Oh wow!
They're very
They're like
tiny. They are human. They're more like fish.
Yes, they're like the ancient earth goddesses.
Yeah, yeah.
They're also a little bit, it's like a chubby Giacometti or something. Yeah, they're beautiful. They'd be great, really large, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
It's almost Egyptian, huh?
Yeah, Egyptian art I really like as well. So this is one of the.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah.
She's got a tail. She's got a ponytail that goes around the back. The back. It's like the main feature. And then after that, these figures started evolving to kind of even more simple. This is more and more recent. This is probably 5 years ago. I started working with terra sigillatos and things that could have different positions. This one, so they are female figures, but they are very abstracted, and then they got even more abstracted with these guys.
Are they figures?
They're figures to me. They're figures.
Yeah.
And this one.
Yeah.
And then the figures got left to one side. And in the last few years, I've just been working more with more abstract shapes.
Wow.
Again, you can position them in different places. I hope I don't break it, but it has different standing positions.
Yeah.
It has a different standing position. I can't work out where it is now. Anyhow, there it is.
Yeah, they almost they almost look like they're inflatables or something.
Yeah. The Michelin Man.
Yeah, great.
And then more recently, I've been getting into chains, all sorts of chains.
Oh yeah.
Rectangular chains and like interlocking positions. Ceramic chains is nonsense. But,
right. What's the
These are made up from a mold. So I make one original piece. I make one.
Yeah.
And I take the mold out of it, and then I produce several of it, and then I play like a jigsaw puzzle. So I assemble them in different positions. There is one over here, which is actually all interlocked together.
Yeah. And then what's the idea behind the chains? Is that about freedom, or is that?
It's actually not about lack of freedom. It's about connection.
Right.
It's about being connected. But it's a crazy idea.
Oh, that's great. That looks fantastic.
It's quite heavy, and you can hang it. It has been hung in an exhibition. can just file it all up.
Yeah,
So you take it home and you
Yeah.
do different things with it.
That's so great. That's so great.
And this is another one of those big babies I'm making, these totem things. It's about, I think it's about adding. Change is not about being locked in. It's about adding.
It's not bondage.
Like three is more than, three together is more than three.
Right.
3 times 1.
That's right.
And these guys are about that as well. So it's about tolerance in some ways. It sounds a bit cheesy.
Well,
but it's about sort of, let's try and have harmony, even though that we are really different.
We're stronger together, sort of thing.
Together, so.
Yeah, and these ones, they're like big rocks balanced on the top. These strongly remind me of Andy Goldsworthy's nature art. Do you know him? You know, and he does. He'll sort of do installations in nature with leaves and trees and rocks.
Right.
Do you ever put these? Are there any of these in nature?
They are in my studio. I made them. I made them not that long ago. I sold that one.
Right.
He's waiting to go to Ibiza.
Oh yeah.
House.
Yeah, they'd be great in a public space, wouldn't they? By a tree or something.
Yeah.
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 And then what about these textures? This is natural clay, or
this is all natural. This has no glaze. This is all treated with terra sigillata, which is a decanted clay.
Right.
Clay that you mix with a salt, and you let it settle all the heavy particles, and you just take the cream of it basically. And that gives you like a sheen.
Oh.
And they come out like that with the kiln. But I polished them before. So it's hours of polishing.
They make you want to touch. I always want to touch sculpture.
Yeah, no, but you have to touch it.
I find it frustrating in galleries where they're like, don't touch. No. You've got to touch it.
And also, this is a treatment done with the smoke.
Smoke, right.
You can see the bits of the straw showing through.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was fired inside the metal canister inside the kiln with sawdust. And these are the different layers of the sawdust.
Right.
And maybe I put a bit of sand on it. If you put sand, it stops the smoke going through.
Wow. Wow.
This one is, I like the idea of kind of elevation.
Yeah.
And still the curve, you know.
Yeah. They're very
tactile.
But I mean, I was going to say feminine, but that's obviously quite phallic, isn't it?
No, I think it's feminine.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe it's a good time, Lisa, Marianne, that we open it up to some questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you like to do that?
Yeah.
And then we can talk a bit more about the work. Yeah. So.
Well, I just like to throw a comment.
Maybe Gina. Is Gina? We've still got Gina.
Just before we go on to the thing, I want to speak about mental health.
Oh, yes.
How it's been my companion all my life. And I'm very glad to say that I managed to come on the top of it. But it's been through many years of dealing with a bipolar condition. And I have been medicated for many years, but I'm out of medication now for the last 3 or 4 years. And it's been like a real breakthrough. It's just something that people don't talk about. And I think it's quite interesting when people have problems and make breakdowns, to see other people who've gone through the same, absolutely being the other side. You know, I've been like out there. You know, I was the Virgin Mary, reincarnated as a prostitute in the 20th century or something like that. You know, like really, people who know me have seen me elsewhere. Yeah. But luckily, I wasn't aggressive or anything. Yeah. I'm always an optimist and always like a maniac. I suffer more from mania than depression. Yeah. Depression must be much harder to deal with. Yeah. So well, that's inspiring. I think it's good to think that, you know, that you have to just trust your intuition and keep on at it and do things that.
It's such a big issue for so many artists, especially ones I work with, and I don't know if there are any easy solutions. One step at a time.
Well, get to know yourself and learn to accept it.
Yeah.
I completely accept it. I don't have any problems. I don't have any hang-ups on having that condition all my life. But
and art's a great.
As I say, I had a lot of support because friends always support me, and my friends support me.
Yeah. And art itself is a therapy.
Art is a therapy.
Yeah.
I find that anything that I invest time-wise, when I'm saying this, is when I'm working.
So
it's just like I have a capacity for work that goes on for hours.
I think it's a massive issue today, especially coming out of lockdown. A friend of mine committed suicide last week. Lots of people, apparently, suicides have gone up 30% or something. It's a really big issue, and
it's a lot of stress.
Yeah,
we have fed so much fear. Fed fear continuously.
Yeah.
And we're not going to die of the illness. We're going to die of the fear that they're implanting in our bodies, and that in itself makes the mechanism of our cells deteriorate.
Yeah. So Geraldine asks, how do you market your art?
Oh, why? Do you want to be a manager? Anybody wants? I work on schedules of exhibitions. In London, I had it quite easy because I was like a blue-eyed girl coming out of college. I was a sponsor here and a sponsor there, and I was accepted in circles. And then I came to Spain. I decided that for me, Spain, I was hoping to keep on going with what I had there. But as the years go by, then you do lose contact. I'm trying to do a little of a comeback now. I had a show in London in 2019, in May. And I was going to another show on March the 19th. So with the van already packed, with all the gear and everything, and the effort and everything paid for, we had to unload the van 3 days later.
How sad,
because it was lockdown. So
I mean, I suppose also your work sells your work, doesn't it? As you get more established.
I have followers. I have followers here. I have new followers when I go to a different venue. I'm not expensive. I keep my prices down. And then I'm not going to be rich from making work, so I decided to have a good time. So periodically I travel and I go to residencies, find myself residencies in obscure places. The last one was Bangladesh, of all places.
Wow.
One of the poorest countries in the world. And in 5 days I sold more than I sell in Granada.
Incredible.
Where people know me because they are very thirsty for new things. And if they appreciate the quality of the work, or it does something for them. Then so I think the work sells itself, basically. And I have a quota of different people who are loyal to me and who bought things throughout. They have a collection of things throughout all the different stages. Galleries don't really like the fact that I change so much. They don't have an item to sell. Standard. But it's fun, I'm here to develop. This is like, it's like an investigation. You investigate a field and then you just keep on going on that.
And there's been a few books, and are any more books coming out of retrospective work, or?
No.
Do you have a website where people can buy direct?
I have a website.
What's that?
www.esperanzaromero, my name.com. It's my dominion. There is another one which is .s, and she's a handbag maker or something. Also Esperanza Romero.
Any more questions out there? from the lab.
I ask
Hi, what about Gina? Come on, Gina. I know. Oh, she might have. Yeah, actually, you're right.
She says you what? Maybe
Yeah.
we're not hearing anything from
Oh,
them.
with Kitty's on, just around the corner. Kitty Shepherd. Yeah.
Can you not hear me?
Oh, there's Gina. Can't hear you, Gina.
This is their own time.
Can we unmute Gina?
I'm not muted.
Or even people here.
Can you hear me now?
Hi.
Still can't hear you.
That's so weird.
What happened to me?
Because you could hear me before.
Unmuting us. Oh, I can hear Gina. Can you type in what Gina's saying, Geraldine? Oh, I can't. Maybe my volume's down.
I think they can hear Gina.
Yes.
Can you hear?
She's saying rude stuff. Uh-oh. Turn it up. Turn it up. Can you turn your volume up, Spence? Because we can't. I for some reason, everybody
If somebody
seems
can
muted
turn
on
off
my phone.
Esperanza's phone.
Oh, I got you now. Go on then, Gina. We got you.
Can
What
anyone?
were you saying?
You can hear me.
Yes, we can. Yes.
You can hear me now.
Yes.
Oh my
I can
God.
hear.
I've never said, "Can you hear me?" so many times. Well, I knew Esperanza in 1976. I met Esperanza in the autumn, and Esperanza has always been one of the most positive people I've ever met. And,
Wow.
you know, as soon as you said the thing about chains and captivity, and Espe said, "No, it's about connection," I was like, "Yes, I know." It's so great because punk was quite negative in many ways, and I think I mean, obviously, I did know that Esperanza had her, mental health issues, and she went up and down, but she was always very positive. And I remember one crazy episode that you had, Espe, where you really, really wanted this jumper. I think it had a monkey on it, and it was really expensive, and Richard finally bought it for you, and immediately someone said, "Oh, that's a lovely jumper," and you gave it to them straight away. It was like, you've always been positive and really generous, and that's what's amazing about it.
It was a little girl who said, it was in the shop, I was trying it on. And the little girl said, "Oh, that's a lovely jumper." The mother must have been absolutely disconcerted.
I always think of that when I think of you, and how kind and generous you are, and how positive, and how you've just really, really put yourself into all your work in such a brilliant way. And it's really inspiring. It's inspiring to me. And I just have to show you on my, I mean, I've got lots of your pieces, but this piece, and the mantelpiece is really cluttered now, but this piece has always been in the middle of my mantelpiece. Can you see it?
Can we spotlight Gina? There you
Oh,
go.
there.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
there you are.
There it is. That's always been in the middle of my mantelpiece. But it's got rather a lot of crazy things around it at the moment. But yeah, I got light fittings and square cups. And oh no, I know what I've got. I've got cups that are really fat at the bottom and really narrow at the top. They're really hard to drink out of, but they're incredibly beautiful. And I wish I'd managed to buy something at your recent show in London, but I didn't. I really like the one, like the hedgehoggy shaped one, that is on the top shelf around. And I think if I'd had some money in my pocket, I would have.
Oh, that spiky one, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love that.
Is it that one?
Yes, but the problem is, it's like, as you can see from my mantelpiece, it's like, where do we put all these things? And you know, now
I think you have to buy another house.
I know, I need to buy another house.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Great. That's lovely. That's such a really good feeling from you, Gina, there. Thanks for joining in.
Shall we do a small demonstration before clocking off?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, what do you want to do?
I sort of prepare this stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay. There's another question here from Scott saying, do you have a preference of medias in the media?
I don't have a preference, but I dedicate 60%, 70% of the time to ceramics.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so with that, I don't know if
That
the
answers that
question.
one. Okay, so what are you
this
doing
one,
here?
This project, this I took plaster slabs from the actual lino cuts. So they're actually lino cuts, and then instead of printing it, I took a print on plaster, and then I'm going to put clay on it. This clay is porcelain, and it's mixed with paper pulp.
It's mixed with paper.
Paper pulp.
Oh,
You can use toilet paper, actually, wet toilet paper.
Oh, wow.
And it actually gives the strength. It's a very messy job. Okay, I'll put it next to that one, because I have to make some boundaries for it. But
Move it wine.
it's all right. It's on clay. Okay, so.
Right. And then what will you get, a plate or?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I got it all prepared so
I
we
want to
can
see what it is.
You will. So I'm going to open. Okay, so I get a piece of cloth also to reinforce it.
Oh, yeah.
This gives it a strength. It's like it's a very messy business, basically, ceramics.
It's great making mess, though, isn't it?
I love making mess. And then I have one prepared that I done earlier on today.
So this will just reinforce and strengthen the piece.
Hold on. So, yeah, this will gives it like a structure.
Yeah.
Then it burns in the kiln, but in fact, the holes that it leaves behind, it actually gives it more strength rather than less. So paper clay, there is lots of tutorials in YouTube and things. I like to be a student every now and then, so I join little intensive courses.
You're on the YouTube?
No, actual physical.
Oh.
No, I mean, I then look in there. I know I pay to go and spend 3 days in Valencia.
Oh, I see. You do workshops, yeah. Yeah.
I do them, I give them, but also receive
Yes,
them.
that's right. That's right. I have like guitar lessons and piano lessons every now and again.
This is one that I did earlier on.
Okay.
Just so that I could. So you leave that one that we did before. We leave it to set, and then.
And what, you just lift it off, peel it off?
Peel it off. Yeah. I haven't been paying much attention to it since we were in the interview, but.
So is this, SB, is this just dried on its own without going in the kiln?
No, this is just drawn on its own.
Yep.
And then you put it
dry.
in
The plaster sucks water, and as it sucks the water. Wait a minute, it's sort of stuck, the bit that overlapped. So, but I quite like it with messy edges anyway.
Yeah.
You can also like, at a later stage, you can, here we are.
Oh, beautiful.
And then you can put it inside a shape and give it a shape.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I should wash my hands basically. It's not. I have to make a shape that it would house them properly.
Oh, amazing.
So you can.
Beautiful.
So we go back here now to this table. This is like the cooks that make a meal in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh, wow. Here we go.
Here we go. This
Wow.
is it, right?
Yeah.
And it's already got this the pattern.
Oh. So
and
that's
it's very
just dried.
fine.
It's not baked. It's just
It's
dried.
not baked, but it's really strong. Paper clay is really strong.
Yeah.
And then this is a porcelain and cobalt mixture. And you just
Wow. So that will come out blue. will it?
that would come out blue. And then you can keep on digging on it. You can like as if we were making a lino cut.
Yeah.
So you see?
Yeah.
And then you can, if there's anything that you don't like in it, you can either cover it,
Yeah.
or you can keep on digging at it. This I did earlier. This I painted earlier. I don't like it to be too perfect either. Let me see. Oh, this one. It's not the tool I was looking for, but then don't know if you can see this. You draw back to it.
Yeah, yeah.
This is not the right tool.
Yeah, yeah.
These are etching tools that could be used as well. But
Yeah.
you can draw in it. So even if it was blank, and you can make the spaces black or white or whatever you want, you know.
Great.
I have a guideline, but
Fantastic. And have you got one that's baked as well?
I have one that's baked.
Wow.
So this is the footy. This is the big bum lady. This is, I hate all these women having to be so thin. So my ladies usually are quite fat.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
It's creating so much health issues for young girls, you know, bulimia and anorexia and that, 'cause no one is happy with their weight. So I usually draw happy big ladies. So this is one.
There you go. Isn't that great?
So it's not shiny, it's not matte, it's a mixture.
Yeah. And that's got like a matte glaze, right?
It's just, it's the envelope, it's this product.
Right.
What I do is, I just put, it's on the bottom. I have to write everything now down, so otherwise I never remember.
Yeah.
So it's got 500 grams of porcelain, 200 grams of high temperature glaze, and 15 grams of cobalt.
Right.
And a little teaspoon of low temperature, so it brings the temperature down.
Right. Right. It's real alchemy, isn't it? It's like a total transformation. Yeah.
A lot goes wrong.
Fantastic. Well, that's been amazing, Esperanza. Any other questions from anyone now before we wrap it up?
Espy, when are you coming over to London for your next? Any idea when you're bringing your work over for your next show?
Well, I'm not sure what's happening in customs. I don't know what's happening with bloody Brexit.
Yeah.
So I might not be able to.
Yeah, that's right.
But maybe next March.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah, there is a question there in the chat.
This is what happened when I spoke to you.
There you go. With your ceramics. Oh, I can't. My messages pop up and then disappear.
With your ceramics, is the main inspiration nature or your imagination?
Sorry?
Say that again.
With your ceramics, is the main inspiration nature or your inspiration or your imagination? Nature or imagination?
I think nature is well set in my imagination. I'm a plant lover, and but I think it's just a vocabulary that you develop. over the years, you know, you get fixated. I could say I'm really into curves. You see very few works which are straight lines. Well, I guess this got the straightest lines of all. But basically I like things, movement, sort of the balancing, sort of things that don't look as if they're going to balance and they balance. So peculiar balancing.
When I was
Maybe
in
I'm
your,
not answering your question about inspiration. I think, well, one very famous phrase of Picasso, I mean, I want inspiration to find me at the easel. Meaning, you know, you just get inspiration through what you are actually doing, developing one idea onto another one, and then experimenting. Or when you're happy with one, you feel that you can still carry on getting something better out of it. And there are times when things just die down. Some things just die down very quickly. Some ideas die down very quickly. You shouldn't have the light behind.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah?
Oh,
Yeah?
good enough.
No, they said not to have
Oh, really?
things behind.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Well, thanks so much again, Esperanza, and thanks to the lab back in the UK for setting it up. Well done. Any final words? Should we just give SB a big hand of applause? Yeah. Open up the mics. Yeah.
and you.
Not at all.
Thank you, Jude.
Thank you, SB.
Thank you, Esperanza.
thank
Fantastic.
you, that was great,
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't try the technology, did we? Again, we thought we had it down to a iota, but we didn't.
Not too bad though. Not too bad.
It was very
Brilliant.
entertaining.
Yeah. Lovely. Great. Okay. Thanks again, everyone.
Yeah,
See you on
great,
Monday.
great inspiration. Yep, cheers. Manana.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Hello, SB.
Hi, Gina.
I
Well done, you made it.
did. I might have to rush off if there's a puppy emergency, but I think I'll be okay.
Okay.
Hi, Esperanza.